All right, guys, welcome back. My name is Sal Cosentino. It's December the 23rd, 2024. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Microsoft Intune and specifically configuration profiles and what those configuration profiles are. Just a quick video on how to create some configuration profiles because they do get interesting with the configuration profiles and how they're created. Many ways to create. Um, 1 second. So we're going to create some configuration profiles for our machine that we're going to create. So we're also going to create a machine. Just for as an introduction, um, I okay. Sorry about that, guys. So I want to talk about um, all right. So it's a little bit about me. I want to talk a little bit about me. I want you guys to understand, who I am and what I've been doing in my life. I'm a respected and experienced information technology professional with over 19 years of experience in IT across the education. I've educated numerous students globally, uh, thousands of students globally. Uh, you know, Insurance companies. I've worked with government, financial companies, banks, travel industry, retail, and manufacturing fields. Again, I've designed, I've implemented, I've planned, I've instructed and architected systems, servers, and applications in hybrid environments, in on-premises environments, in cloud environments, with many businesses and startup companies. Currently, I'm a system admin uh, and academic trainer. I teach Microsoft, I teach VMware products, I teach Google, and I teach other cloud courses as a visit faculty at different colleges and various other private colleges in an online environment. Um, Again, in this session, I want you guys to understand that um, we work hard, um, learn more, and do lots of hands-on labs. This you're not really going for. This isn't really well. It's more of a cloud engineering aspect. A lot of hands-on labs. We're not really architects here, so I want you guys to kind of understand this is more of a role where you're doing a lot of hands-on labs and you're creating these things. So you're engineering these things, and you're not really architecting it, but you're engineering a lot of these things because there are a lot of hands-on labs. It's good to know the networking side, obviously, and the application side and the system side, knowing the architecture of the system, the CPU, the hardware resources that it takes when we're creating these virtual machines. And in a lot of my videos, you will see a lot of servers and machines that I've created, I've architected, I've designed and built them myself, with our drawings here and stuff. So, you know, um, that's a good picture to. I'll draw another one. But again, in this session, I want you guys to work hard. We work hard. One on one, we work hard as you're listening to this. Learning more and doing lots of these hands-on labs with me, asking questions. Please don't be scared. I kind of ask you guys like, hey, this is your life. Either you choose, it's your choice to be lazy and simply not really attend this class, but listen. Do it with yourself. Take notes. Take notes. right? Uh, Create your own lab. If you can't follow, cannot you cannot follow along, or it is too fast. Pause the video, rewind it back to a part where you want to re understand it, and you know follow along, right? um so again, you create your own lab. Don't be lazy. Attend these video sessions. Do it for yourself. Take notes, create your own lab. You have If you cannot follow along or it's too fast, pause the video, rewind, rewind back, right? That's why I put it on there, back, right, to a part where you want to re-understand it or follow along. Use captions, right? This is all accessible. It's accessibility for everybody, everyone. You know, you're more than welcome to use the speed playback, speed playback option, right? Ask questions again. Don't nod, saying, "Hey, I understood," and then go home and ask me questions and not really pay attention because you're not really watching the whole video, right? So give yourself at least that 2 hours a day time to study. I say being the active and hardworking type is the way to go. Try to understand what I'm trying to say. you know like I said, let me know if I'm going too fast. Pause it, rewind back to a part where you want to re-understand it, use the captions, replay it again over and over again. Speed playback option. It's accessibility for everyone, right? Ask me to repeat what you don't understand. Again, follow along. And again, this is really, 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 really important, especially uh, you know when we talk about. See what I can do here. See if I can give you some good information here that I wanted to give you guys. But um, if I'm going back to my videos here again. I want you guys, and I'm gonna tell you guys this is really, really important, right? So I want you guys to add a page. Now I'm gonna add a page. This is for questions. Like I said, this is important. This is questions and questions about the lab. Okay. Again, I can be busy, guys. Again, I'm sorry if I don't, but I do take 24. It'll take me 24 to 48 hours to respond. So again, review back, take a look at what you need, you know, double ask the question. Again, message me. If I don't answer back, again, please be patient. I will do my best to answer all your questions. Um, Let me make this a little bit bigger for you because I feel like this is important and I want you guys to do the same thing. So, okay. All right. So I'm gonna go back now and hopefully that refreshed. Hopefully that kind of refreshed here. We're just gonna re-wait for this to refresh. I'm gonna resynchronize. So I'm gonna resynchronize. Give me 1 second. It's taking a little bit of time, guys. Give it 1 second. So I want you guys to follow instructions, okay? I want you to and add yourself to my WhatsApp channel. In order to be accepted to this group, and I'm gonna mention this again because of, um, I don't want you guys to message me saying, "Hey, I need your help," when and not really ask me these questions online through that WhatsApp channel. That's more for like um, questions regarding the video itself. Um, if you're looking for help, I'll do my best to help you guys, right? I want you guys to watch that video and research a little bit before you ask these questions, right? So, in order to be accepted to this group, my WhatsApp channel, I want you guys to add me, right? You have to answer the following questions, right? As a part of your review. So, I will send you guys the link to join the group, and then that'll be in the description as well. So you'll see in the bottom there in the notes in the video itself. Um, just below the video itself, you will see um, the views and the hours. If you click on the more button, you'll see you'll see notes on um, the videos itself. There are notes and documentation and links that I post for every video. And if I say I post links, I post them there. Or within the video, you should be able to capture them within the video, the notes that I create if you're following along. So um, as I was stating before, I need you to message me on WhatsApp saying, hey, my name is so and so, first name and last name. I'm from, USA, Canada, Europe. You know, oh, I want you to tell me what you like about this video so far, or any of the videos so far. What are your long-term goals when using the SCCM, MECM, Azure? Are you working with MECM and Intune? If so, what company you work for? That way I know who you are, right? It's an introductory of yourself. Introduce yourself. Um, is this personal? Is this for troubleshooting? Is this a lab, a home lab that you want to do? Questions about the assignments. So I do give assignments in there, and you should be able to take snapshots and post them on a Word document, or PDF version is also okay. You can also share your OneNote sheets with me, or email me at inproduction.into@gmail.com. And seven, I want you to like and subscribe to my channel, my videos, right? I want you to continue to uh, like it and support me as I create these videos. So, let's sync this. 1 second. It's gonna sync. See if I can sync. There you go. So there you go. So again, I want you to message me on WhatsApp. I want you to tell me who you are, and if you do go click on the link and you want to add yourself, um, you know, before it goes through a review. So you need to message me. You need to tell me who you are, or else I won't add you. I'm not going to just add people for the heck of it. I need people who are serious. It's a small group, and it'll continue to stay small. It's a very active group. We talk every day, so I expect the same thing for you. There are rules. We keep it IT based in my group. It's a small group, so don't be scared. Tell me who you are. We'll get to know each other, and we'll do our best to help you out. Um, Again, it'll take about 24 to 48 hours for me to respond. Once I get the review, if you do not follow these instructions, you will not get added to my group. I'm telling you right now. So rethink what you do. If you do not get added and denied, then again, re-add yourself again and answer these questions, and then I'll add you. Okay. All right. So going back to try and understand. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Again, ask me to repeat what you don't understand in the videos, right? In my lab classes, I ask my students to repeat if they don't understand. Just say raise your hand and ask me a question. Same thing with the videos. You can say, hey, I don't understand. Like, there was a kiosk video that was a Windows for Windows 11 24H2, but you used the Windows 10. So I explained to him what we did and what the whole point was, and it could still be done if you do use it. It's just the architecture and the way I designed it, right? So I did explain that to that person. We can explain it to each other. Um, you know, you can also message me in this group. So, if this is a question of, you're trying to do the lab and you need help with the step and it's not coming the same way, then again, yeah, you can ask me that. Or if you want to congratulate me or like or subscribe it, and then you could use that. But if it's a question that's totally different from the lab, then you're gonna have to uh, you're gonna have to understand. You're gonna have to show, um, like I said, get get added to the WhatsApp group, right? So as I've been saying again, please don't be shy. Asking simple, easy questions. All questions are cool. All questions are merited. Um, I try to help you guys as much as I can. I want you guys to work on your home lab. SMS me, email me, send me screenshots, right, when you're messaging me so I understand. Don't think that I know what you're talking about. Uh, I get a lot of weird comments and a lot of weird questions. It's like, okay, and so, be very descriptive and use sentence structures when asking questions. My pet peeve, and again, we're all adults, we're all professionals. Rundown sentences, or you know a message that's six messages in a row explaining one thing. It annoys me. Again, be descriptive, use sentence structure, you know put it in a paragraph. Use a paragraph, right? And be very and make sure you know what you're talking about. Okay. When you're working on these hands-on labs, if you are following me, and I really appreciate it, guys. um, you know your determination to learn, to become that professional from 0 to 100 is really appreciated, right? So again, when you are working on these labs, give yourself 2 hours a day. That's all you need. Like, if you have more time, sure, go ahead. It's totally up to you. Use that time. Um, go for those exams. Take a look at those exams. Take a look at the study guides. Learn a little bit of that, and so forth. Again, hardware. We're not going to talk, but again, have the minimum hardware. IT is your field, as you know. So, like I said, get the hardware for it. Create the labs. Like, I'm using Workstation Pro from VMware. Uh, I love this application. You can use anything you want. I don't care. Uh, you know, you can use hypervisors like ESXi 7 and 8. I think there's a video of me on how to install that. You can use Hyper-V's Microsoft hypervisor, which is Hyper-V. You can use Zen Server for Citrix hypervisor. You can use Red Hat hypervisor, which is KVM. Sorry, KVM, which is your Red Hat supervisor, and so forth. Right? It's totally up to you. Right? Right? So it's totally up to you. Um, even it takes time, right? So get yourself going. Follow my videos. Like, if you're behind, go ahead, create yourself a quick machine, right? Sort of what I'm doing, right? Create your quick machine or create your server. Your machine. I I don't want you guys to, like, again. You can create nested machines. Like, you can give your nested Windows 10 machine, 64 GB, and run a Hyper-V on this Hyper-V and create 2 or 3 machines on that 64-bit or 4 machines on that 64-bit machine, right? If you want, or you can do this, or you can have a server or hardware, right? Let me see if I can open up my machine here. Okay, so if I grab my pen here. So again, I create my domain controller. I created my MEC MPS, and I'm creating a client machine. And again, this client machine, um, you can have a machine with an operating system, right? And within your operating system, you can have your drives, and you can have your two network adapters, your NATs, right? And in order for them to communicate, you need to make sure they're both on the same VNet or VLAN, right? As I discussed in earlier um, editions, you can give it internet or NAT, right? Which is for internet, or you can give it a local internet, which is your VMnet. So whatever VMnet you decide to give it, right? And if you go to the machines here, again, each machine is different, or each application is different. If you choose to use Oracle, uh, another one too, Oracle. Um, well, they use Virtual Manager. Um, I also have a video on that if you want to create that, right? So, um, so if we're opening up Oracle, open up the internet. A virtual box manager, sorry. So it's a virtualization hypervisor that Oracle uses, right? So virtual box manager, my apologies, right? So you're more than welcome to use that as well. It's totally up to you. You can use hypervisor, you can use KVM, right? KVM, hypervisor, right? So that'll allow, created by Ubuntu. So that's its native availability on Linux. So since and again, you can read up on this stuff. Um, you know, you can read up on that, and it enables the full virtualization capabilities. It provides each VM with all typical services for a physical system, including virtual BIOS, which is your basic input and output, virtual hardware, process such as processors, memory, storage, network cards, etc. As a result, every VM completely stimulates a physical machine. So again, this is a little bit about how to install the KVM on an Ubuntu machine. Um, and if you want to follow along, you're more than welcome to do that. And if we open up the OpenStack dashboard, um, see if we can zoom in on that. That'd be great. You'll see the instances and images on that. It's a little lighter. So again, if you're more than welcome to install and get started with the KVM hypervisor. Uh, again, this gives you the benefits, so you're more than welcome to read out the benefits. And again, this was created in 2006. It's a 15-year-old so it is very mature. Presents a high level of maturity. So it's been 15 years since it's available, and businesses can optionally subscribe to commercial programs like Ubuntu Pro. I also have videos on that. Um, you can present how to install it on Ubuntu LTS. So if you do have a VM that's in Ubuntu, you can install this KVM um, and execute the following command. So this will execute the command. Um, and then you can launch your VMs, right? So again, it'll walk you through the OpenStack Sunbeam on your Ubuntu machine with minimal effort. OpenStack is the most popular open cloud platform and Sunbeam is the simplest way to get started with OpenStack. So uses the KVM under hypervisor underneath, right? So if you look at the picture, and I will take this. I'm going to take a snapshot of this because I want you guys to read this as a good read. Okay. And I'm also going to add that into my notes for today's notes. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back here. You know, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to take a snapshot. Just want that picture. Copy. And I'm going to add it here and talk about KVMs, which is what I love talking about. Right? So KVM infrastructure, OpenStack, Sunbeam, etc. So here's how that works. I'll also give you guys a link to look at, which I think is very cool. This talks about what the KVM is, right? So this is a great, there's no license. This is a type 1, which is kind of cool. And okay, all right. So I'm going to copy this. And again, you're more than welcome to read up on the KVM if you haven't done so. Please feel free to do so. This is great information. Um, I'm going to, I will make this a little bit bigger for you. And I will give you guys a link, which I feel is important for you guys to read up on, which is also cool. If you guys are willing to do that, okay? Uh, you know, so this is Red Hat Hypervisor is KVM, obviously, and so does Ubuntu. Ubuntu is also uses KVM, also uses KVM, right? So if I were to go back to this, I'm going to take this picture and I will do KVM Red Hat and see what happens. So again, here's what KVM uses for Red Hat. So it lets you run an operating system within another operating system, uh, which is possible thanks to the hypervisors. Here's some information on Red Hat if you want to read on Red Hat. It does use network attached storage and it supports shared file systems so that the VM images can be shared by multiple hosts. Um, uses OpenShift virtualization. Right, so here's the KVM uh, info for that. So I'm going to put that here as a good read. And I'm going to talk about, right, so Red Hat uses KVM, and I will give you guys some good information on that, and then we'll get going. And again, this is kernel-based virtual machine. That's what it stands for, KVM. Okay, and it was announced in 2006. Again, there are virtualization solutions at Red Hat, and you're more than welcome to explore those different solutions and try out those different solutions if you feel like there's different features and what solutions and ecosystems that can extend its capabilities. They use OpenShift virtualization, so these are the technologies that you're more than welcome to use. Again, that's more than something different than what we're going to be talking about, but I want to make sure I discuss that as well too as a good read and topic. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys, and I will split that up later. I'll take all this stuff. That. And I will talk about uh, Ubuntu. Okay, so again, this was totally off topic, guys. I apologize, but again, I just wanted to talk to you guys about how that works, and that is available for you guys to try out if you want. I'll ship out the links for you guys for anybody watching this video. But our main topic today is configuration profile, right? And before we get to that, I know we're discussing I know we're discussing the hardware requirements. So again, it is a part of a part of what you do, right? As an IT person or engineer or I technician or whatever you do. So whatever part of it, so IT is part of an interviewer's process as well, which is your day to day, and for management as well. So IT is your field; it's part of what you do. Uh, so so IT is part of an internet process, right? So make sense of that. It's part of what you do. Oh, sorry. All right. So IT is part of an interviewer's processor, right? So the examiner, the presenter, the person who's hiring you, day to day, and for management as well. So that you need the good hardware. So as a interviewer, so as a person in the field, you need good hardware, and that is important. Okay. Minimum i7 quad core processor, if you do have it, or better, compatible for Windows 11, since we are, all on Windows 11, and our Windows 10 machines are getting out of date. So make sure you guys are Windows 11 ready. You're compatible with, if you do decide to get hardware, so you're also compatible with ESXi 6.5 and at least up to 8.0 ESXi. So ensure that you have the proper hardware for that. You have a minimum of 32 GB, right? Or 128 GB RAM. If you have a laptop, at least 8 minimum, 16 GB, 32, even 32, right? So, you know, as long as you have enough, 16 is fine. 8 is okay, but you're really stretching it. You don't have enough to play with. Minimum of 500 GB SSD provided. Jive. You can have a desktop computer, a laptop, or a server. Search for used ones on Amazon, Kijiji, Dell website, HP or Lenovo's websites, uh, vendors' websites. They also have different marketplaces you can try, or any used computer supplier shops or shops, right? So you can visit anything. You can Google it. You can use 411. You can do whatever you want. There are some used ones out there, good deals. Just make sure you have the hardware requirements, right? It's your field. It's part of what you do. As an IT, it's part of an interview's processes, which is your day to day, as I mentioned, and for management as well. So they do need that hardware. Make sure that they have the hardware as well. If you are part of that, if you are in management, you are in interviews, and you want to learn, and you want to teach your fellow mates or your employees, you want to make sure that you have that as well too, ready to go. Um, again, I'm creating videos of the class session and the lab so you can repeat the same thing at home. You have life. So these videos are uploaded to my YouTube private channel. Uh, your Gmail is required to watch these videos. I do have videos that are private. Talk to me if you're interested in those. I need your Gmail for that, and we'll talk about um, how to get access to those videos. So we want to start talking about Intune. What is Intune? Um, you know, so we, it's a cloud-based management solution, endpoint management solution. It manages users' access um, to organization resources. It simplifies app and device management across many devices, such as mobile devices, desktop computers, and virtual test points. Right. So um, we do have some key features and benefits. I'm gonna make this a little simple for you and simplify what this all means. So Intune Circle Cloud is, part of the Intune suite. It's web-based admin center. This is what Microsoft. This is Microsoft's architecture and database. How it works. It has its own VPN and Microsoft Tunnel. It implements zero trust. We all know what zero trust is. Implements endpoint security. It implements Google Play for Android users, Apple tokens, TeamViewer, mobile threat defense services. It integrates integration such as Manager, Config Manager, Windows Autopilot, Defender for Endpoint, Auto Patching, which is cool, Endpoint Analytics, and Microsoft 365. It does a lot of reporting and data, live reporting and data, and it's remote and hybrid workers, so you're able to remote in and hybrid environment, and it's self-service. So again, Microsoft uses apps, identities, and devices, and in order to get to make this as simple as and easy as possible and manage it across your organization's devices and mobile devices and virtual endpoints. So it does also provide compliance and conditional access, such as within our Entra Admin Center. If you guys have learned what that is, you'll understand what conditional access is. Device configuration, bring BYOD, which is bring your own device, and org own devices, which is corporate devices, right? So you're also able to manage identities and management, identities as security. You can manage identities as for custom to give custom roles to those identities and assign policies to those identities. Within our apps deployment, we can deploy apps, we can update apps, protect them, and remove them. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna explain a little bit. Um, I'm gonna make this as easy as possible. So I'm gonna kind of talk to you guys about what Intune is, and we gave you that sort of introduction wheel, and now I'm gonna talk about the what Intune is. So Intune started in the year 2010. Okay, it was a big product. Again, it manages when Microsoft Intune um, manages two tasks, right? So it manages our MDM, which is our mobile device management, and then it also manages our MAM, which is our mobile application management. So, as you know, it started in 2010. It was formerly called Endpoint Manager MEM. That was formally, right? Um, and again, we know as a platform it was launched in 2011, but it was started in 2010. and it was called Windows Intune. Okay, that's what it was called. It wasn't called Microsoft Intune or Microsoft Endpoint Manager. It was used. It was formerly called MEM and Windows Intune. Okay, so again, we know it's cloud based, right? Uh, Endpoint management. That's what that is. Endpoint management, right? Um, it's a service for both BYOD, bring your own devices, and corporate. Okay, so so it Intune Intune extends um, on premises functionalities of Microsoft MCM, which is Microsoft Configuration Manager, to Microsoft Azure, which is cloud or cloud based AD, right? So, so this is very important to note, right? When we talk about what these are and what they're capable, what's capabilities are, and how each works in tandem as part of that wheel, and how it's managed, right? So, in terms of distribution, no on-premises infrastructure is required for clients to use Intune, and management is just accomplished by our web-based portal. So everything is web-based, right? So when we're looking at when we're drawing this out, um, from our on-premises servers, right? And we have our DC and we have our primary site server, right? So if this is our primary site server and we're looking at our cloud, our Office 365, right? So if we're looking at it from a point of view, we are looking at Azure, Azure AD, Azure, right? Or Entra Identity, right? Which is our AD. And then we also have Intune, right? So Intune is our on-premises environment for that. So I'm gonna delete this part here. And if we have our AD, right, we have our Azure service, right? And then for our primary site server, we have our Intune, right? So everything is again placed, again, everything is in the cloud, just so that you guys understand how that works. Okay, right? So we have our DC, which is our domain controller, and we know our domain controller, domain controller obviously has our ADDS role installed, and that our ADDS role that's installed as our ADDS, and that our ADDS holds our users and computers, right, or devices. So this will hold our devices, and then we have our Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager, as a primary site server. So this is our primary site server, and this will have our management point and our distribution point and our service connection point and our client agent, right? So I'll have all the mandatory roles that are necessary for it to communicate where we need it to communicate, right? So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller here. Let's make this at a 10 here, right? So again, installed on an operating system as well too, right? So you have to understand that's. So I'll put back to 20. Okay, so as you can see, this is how the cloud infrastructure works. So you kind of get the gist of how that works and how it should work, um, how it's supposed to work, right? And again, within our cloud environment, we're now able to um, use a web-based portal for that, and I'll show you how that works because it's just basically used. We're basically um, logging in from a laptop, right, and working from a laptop, right. So if we make this a little bit smaller, so this is our client laptop. Open. Uh, okay, make this here. All right, let me uh, grab my picture here. So again, if I were to, yeah, I need this is what I need here. So if I were to grab that, all right, I need that picture there, and I'm gonna go back here, copy, right? It's not copy. Okay. Uh, 1 second, guys. I'm going to cut, paste. I'll go back to my drawing and I will paste that again. Hopefully that'll work now. Okay, so then I got a better idea. I will take a snapshot of my image. Okay, so as you could see, all done through this is how it's going to work, how it works in my environment and our environment, hopefully. You don't really need, again, you don't need this. You just need the internet. I'll host VMs. Like these VMs are going to be hosted. So, these VMs here, right, are going to be hosted on my hypervisor too, on my laptop, right? So this is going to be my laptop, right? And again, and again, from my laptop, I am going to access the internet, right? So I will be accessing the internet to access these services, right? So these are services that I'll be using to access, right? So these will be our SaaS applications, um, right? And I will be using the internet, right? Our cloud to access these applications, right? So if you look at my environment, I have my on premises, right? And again, these are all synchronizing. Again, these are synchronizing. And again, we know that we're using to synchronize, we're using our ADC tool to synchronize, right? So it's synchronizing back and forth. So it'll be synchronizing back and forth, um, right? So this data will be synchronizing back and forth, right? Right. And this will have your DHCP and DNS role. All right, DHCP for IP management, right? Especially when we're, uh, and this will also have our global catalog, right? So this will have our global catalog. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. So, right. So again, this will act as our domain controller. This will act as our primary site. This is what I have now, but again, through our laptop, we're going to access the internet to access these two sites, right? So that's what that means in a nutshell. So if, again, if I were to go back to its functionalities of Microsoft Configuration Manager to cloud-based, so we have our laptop or desktop or server or bare metal machine. Within our bare metal machine, I have my Hypervisor 2 Workstation Pro VMware, and I have my DC, and I have my MECMPS primary site server. This data gets synchronized. Obviously, it gets synchronized by a tool called AADC. So the users and groups get synchronized by a tool, right? So we have our AADC. We will turn on. Do I have it? Here you go. So again, that's going to synchronize the data and all the passwords and groups and users and back and forth. So it's Entra Connect system. I'm not sure if I set this up already, but I think I should. Um, think I should. So let's see if I did. Yeah, so I'm going to synchronize the data. I don't have that many users, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. So if I were to open Intune, Intune dot Microsoft.com, Microsoft.com, right? And I'm going to select the new password. So I'm going to put in my password. Okay, and I'm going to approve the sign-in request with my authenticator app that I have on my device. Again, I have other methods. I'm more than welcome to use any method I want. I set this up where I can use my phone if I want, but in this case, I'm not. I'm just going to put back use the number, authenticator code that it gives me. It gives me a 2-digit authenticator code, and that should approve it. Okay. Uh, what happened there? So I'm going to do it again. Approve it. So this should now move. There you go. So here's my admin center um, that we're talking about. And I have co-management set up. So if we look at my co-managed devices, I have my two co-managed devices set up already that are managed by. So this is all set up, and they're able to communicate with our Intune Admin Center, our cloud, right? Uh, if this was added, um, then you'll see that if I go back to, okay, if I show you, I want to show you guys something first, but if we look at this, we go to our Azure, our entra.microsoft.com, right? Um, so we're extending an on-premises to the a cloud-based AD, and this is sort of what I mean by that. So, and if I go to my users, and I go to my all users, I only have two users. So what I want to do is I want to synchronize all my AD users from here. So, for example, if we go back to our on-premises AD, um, I have I have these users that I've created. So you'll see these users that I've already created. These are all offline users. They're not active users. I've disabled them for this purpose. I want to now migrate these users, and I'm going to do that now. I'll show you guys how to do that. So this will verify the credentials to our Microsoft Online, and it'll probably ask me for. Hopefully it does it, but it'll probably ask me for a authenticator password again. I'll type in the password. I'm gonna sign in, and so oh, okay. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Apologies. So I forgot to spell it all wrong. So it's there you go. So that should not work. I'm gonna go ahead and redo this. This should now work. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the password again. And it will or won't ask me for authenticator. If it does, I'll do that. I'll grab my phone and I'll approve the sign in um, for the third time, and I will authenticate that here. And I should hopefully access it finally. There we go. You must be a um, you must be a everything's spelled right, right? Okay. You must be a global admin for this to work. I think I'm still this might be on my old system. So I might have to uninstall it and reinstall it. It looks like I'm on my old um account, so that won't work. But I'm like I said, this will kind of once you're logged in, see if I can log in with my old account. Um okay, so if I'm viewing the exported, so yeah, right now it's on my old account. That's why it's not working. Okay. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so let me see if I can. So guys, let me try this one more time. So I'm going to use another account. Okay. My apologies. It is still active. I'll have to deactivate it after this. So yeah. So there's my order. Okay, there we go. Should be able to use my own. There we go. So I'm going to type in my 6-digit code. Verify that. So this is what my Azure AD Connect or my Entra Connect was. Um, I changed this. I just need to remove it and do this again. Um, so I can connect to my directories, and again, I can select all, all the data that I want and don't want, and then refresh. I can refresh, see if there are any other domains that were added, right? And redo this, and then I can, you know, use password right back. So that'll originate with Azure AD. So it'll be written back to your on-premises directory. If there was, I can, you know, use password hash synchronization without the need to deploy any additional SSO infrastructure. Um, I can also use hybrid deployment if that allows me to. Um, Exchange mail public folders. So, for example, this will allow the coexistence of Exchange mailboxes on my on-premises directory. Um, if you want to read up on that, you're more than welcome to read up on that. Not too much to worry about here, but again, setting up password read back, group write back, uh, you know, whatever I want to do, and I can add optional features and just click next and go back. Once I click next, I should be able to write back to distinguished names with that option. Um, so I'm able to pick and choose whatever I want, right? And click next. And then this will ask me for group write back permissions. So my enterprise admin credentials are set to set group rollback. So I'll have to get a user that is enterprise admin. So if I go to built-in, sorry, not built-in, if I go into users and I go to enterprise admins, just ensure that my user is part of the admin. So that admin is my user. And I'll go to account. So that's, and then SC admin. So it'll be, right? SC admin. So that's the user, right? And then I'll give it my password, whatever my password was. And then I'll click next. So this is getting ready to configure. This will update my June 24 ADD Connect. And the synchronization will start when this configuration is complete. So this will verify the connectivity, make sure that I have the necessary permissions, and update whatever synchronization rules and update uh, the directory, global catalog, um, and it's optional featuring, filtering, OU filtering, directories, etc., etc. So this will continue to go on, and that's what I wanted to show you guys. I know we dwelled on this a little too much, but um, that's what that means. So I'm able to extend my on-premise functionalities of MECM Manager to Microsoft Azure Cloud-based AD. And again, I'm able to synchronize that data from there to the on cloud, right? Using SCP, for example, using co-management. This uses co-management, right? And I think we talked about what the SCP, how the SCP communicates with the Azure Cloud Services, right? And how the SCP service checks the MUS for the different versions and whatnot. Um, and again, co-management is, very, very, very important. Um, that we talk about code management because you need to understand what code management is, right? And how we're able to communicate back and forth between our MECM primary site and the Intune, which is totally different from our domain controller. So Intune manages two tasks, like we said, MDM, device management, and MAM, application management. So MDM manages Windows 10 machines, Windows 11 machines, Android devices, iOS devices, Mac devices, Linux devices, and Chrome OS devices. MDM applications are manages applications such as Microsoft 365. It also manages the Office 2019 version, 2016 version, 13 and 10 back in the days, but this is managing our Microsoft 365 applications, and that's what MAM is. Um, over the difference between um, Intune and MECM is that Intune is used over the internet, so there is no internet required as long as devices are enrolled to Intune. Okay. And remember in SCCM and Config Manager, MECM now, right? We used to have devices, the we used to have devices on the internet, which is our on-premises, and connect to that LAN network, right? So security, in terms of security, you lost your device. We're able to remotely wipe your device. For MDM solution, we're able to factory reset your device. We're able to reset passwords for that device, install applications like sync and send apps, updates, policies, settings, profiles, etc. We're also able to enroll devices into Intune, right? And that is very, very important. Um, you know, those devices like laptops and more in order um, to deploy applications or deploy profiles, right? So we can try Intune for free. Um, there's a 1 month trial for Microsoft Intune Plan One trial. It's also offered in our. It is also offered um, in our Microsoft 365 E3 and E5 subscriptions, right? So you don't have to um, use that. But again, it's a secondary option. You can try that for free. I'll leave the link for you guys to try it. Again, you could sign up. You could take a look at the different subscriptions, and you know uh, you can compare the three and see how those work. The only thing that doesn't have is P2. P2 is a separate subscription. You'll have to get it from Microsoft Admin Center Marketplace, and to get that done. So we talk about. I don't know if we talked about this already, but I think it's important to know before we get to our topic of configuration profiles. There is a certification for that. So if you are planning on getting that, please get that. It did change in September. These are the topics that you'll want to look at individually for your training course. And again, you can take the training course. I think I showed you guys. Um, you know, you can take the courses if you'd like. right? And that's through Learn, right? So if we go to all products, right? Uh, Training. There we go. So when we go to our training, we're gonna go to browse all training, and if we go to course and we type in endpoints, there is a course that I want you guys to take. It's called the Endpoint Administrator. This is a 5-day course. And then there's also a 365 Administrator course. But this is the one that I want you guys to take, Endpoint, which is part of the MD 102. So taking this course, please feel free to take it and get your. This is a self-directed learning. If you do complete it, let me know. I'll send you guys a certificate for that. Um, for this course, just ask. I might need your first name and last name. Just let me know that you completed, and I'll give you guys a certificate for it, which is sponsored by Microsoft. So browse the courses, browse the paths. Um, take a look at the study guides. So if you scroll down a little bit further down here, you'll see the study guides, which is another topic. So this is what you're expected to learn when studying for the MD 102. And, we do talk about a lot here. There's many days of there's a lot of topics here that we could talk about, but creating your device configuration profiles for these specific devices is what we're going to be talking about today, right? So we're going to be talking about Windows devices. We're not going to talk about ADMX. That's another topic. Android, iOS, and Mac. Total topic is just I want to talk about device configuration profile and want to talk about um, the three settings that it gives it for Windows 10, 8.1, or sorry, 10 and later. So you'll see the differences between that when we log into those configuration profiles, and you'll see when we're creating them. Um, you'll see the different platforms, right? And we're going to only be talking about this platform, and we'll be talking about these three profile types. So we'll be working on these three profile types, and we'll be creating these as we as we move forward. Before we do that, I want to talk about when we create a device configuration profile. Yes, we used to have two policy types. We used to have something called templates and settings catalogs. We now have something new that was just introduced, and I showed you guys here. It's called properties catalog. This was introduced this month in the 2411 update. Didn't see it. I didn't see it. Like I've never seen this before. This is the first time I've seen it. We're in the 2412, so it's part of this. It just came out maybe last week or so, 2 weeks ago. If you do want to learn a little bit more about what's new for that and what's added and what's not added, we can look for config, or we can look for properties. Is that what do they call it here? They call it configuration, create, create for 10.8. And this is only for Windows 10 and later. Properties catalog. So I wonder when the properties catalog came out. So properties, because this was never there. This came out, I think, in 2411 or 2412 recently. So this just came out recently, I think a couple weeks ago. And this actually, uh, there's no additional licensing, which is kind of cool. Um, but when was this available? This is available this month. Let's see what's new. All right. So let's see if this is added. Create, create. let's see. This is the second device inventory. So here you go. So this was introduced on the second week of December, right? So this is a great topic. So it was introduced on the second. Uh, so what happened was at the WWDC, Apple ended support for profile-based app user enrollment. Um, so as a result of this change, they updated the behavior that might occur when selecting, determined based on user's choice for bring your own device, BYOD. So now when users select I own this device, Microsoft enrolls them via the account-driven user enrollment rather than a profile-based enrollment, and then secures only work-related apps. Less than 1% of Apple devices across the Intune tenants are currently enrolled this way, obviously. So this change doesn't affect most enrolled devices. There is no change to iOS users who select my company owns this device during a BYOD enrollment. Um, and Intune enrolls the device's enrollment within the Intune company portal and then secures their entire device. Device inventory, and this is introduced for Windows 10 and later corporate-owned devices managed by Intune. So this is important to note. And I will post this as a good read. Post this as a great read. I want you guys to review this when you have a chance, because this is something that is new, and this was December 2nd of December 2024. This came out. Um, so, right, and which is kind of cool to note. I'm sure you guys are itching and wondering what this is and why it's used and why we're using it. So this will let you collect and view additional hardware properties from your managed device. And again, when we used to create them, we had two policy types. We had our templates and settings catalog. We're going to go ahead and create all three for you today uh, as examples. And, you know, this will better help you understand the state of your devices and make business decisions. Um, we can we we can now choose what we want to collect from our company, our devices. So our devices are corporate or personal, right? Devices using the catalog of properties, and then we can view the collected properties from the Resource Explorer view. So do you guys remember in MECM config manager, we have our uh, a device. We right click on a device. We go to client settings, and we're going to start the Resource Explorer. So this right here is where we would get our hardware inventory, our software inventory, our diagnostic files, our hardware history. So this is stuff like BitLocker policies, CD-ROM drive, right? Client diagnostics, computer system, disk drives, device information, like our hardware hash, right? So if we needed our hardware hash, we would find that here. Um, so our DMA, our firmware, installed apps. So any installed apps that we have installed, we would find that here. Anything to do with our logical disk, our motherboard, network adapter, power capabilities, time zone, TPM, Windows app update, etc., etc. So the list goes on. This is where I would find all this information. The capability is now part of our Intune database, our online Intune databases. So Microsoft took care of that and added that as a feature now within Intune. It's not a lot of information, but again, it's kind of cool to, we can take a look at what that does and how that works, and you'll note the difference when we go through those. The settings catalog lists all the settings you can configure and all in one place. The templates include a logical grouping of settings that configure a feature or concept, like, for example, email, kiosk devices, and device firmware. Intune has many updates that include groups of settings that focus on different parts of device management. So we have device management such as accessing resources, sort of like your VPN and Wi-Fi. Security, like antivirus, firewall, certificates. And last but most least is our group policy objects, or GPOs, like our ADMX administrative templates. I'm not going to do that administrative templates. I just want to show you guys how to create one. It's pretty straightforward. You guys can take a look at the different levels of protection for configuration levels. We can also take a look at settings, catalog to configure, iOS, iPad. There's some reporting on that. So if we click on the link, it'll show us how to use the settings catalog. And we're going to go ahead and create that first policy, settings policy. Right. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And I'm going to pull up some good examples for you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and open up and I'm going to click on um, the, all devices. Right. And I'm going to click on all devices here. And we're going to click on configuration for under manage devices. And we're going to go under policies. We're going to click on new policy. And our first platform, again, this only works, these three only work on Windows 10. This is all I'm going to do right now. Is there's different aspects, there's other classes for this. We can talk about this at another time. I do offer full courses if you're interested. Again, for now, we're just going to talk about Windows 10 later and 11. And we're going to talk about our settings catalog. To start from scratch, we're going to select the settings that we want. There's an available library of available settings. And you'll notice that when we hit the create button. So I'm just going to pull up some of my examples here. And we are going to do one of my favorites. Okay. All right. So um, I'm going to open, uh, and we're going to talk about interactive login warning messages. I don't know if you guys know what that is, um, but I'm going to go ahead and create that as a first thing. And I don't know if you guys know, but there's something called interactive login warning message. So this is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it interactive log on. So this is at the Control Alt Delete. Before you press the Control Alt Delete, you need to read the log on warning message. Right. So this is actually a local policy, security policy that we're able to uh, create here. And this is for Control plus Alt plus Delete screen, right? And this is obviously Windows 10 machine because we're going to go ahead and actually create a Windows 10 machine for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while we're doing that. I'm just going to let it install as we got some time here. So I've gone ahead and spun a machine here, Windows 10 machine, um, just a Windows 10 machine, 23H2, just 4 GB, 2 processor, 300 GB hard disk space. So I'm going to copy this here for you. So this is my Windows 10 machine. This is going to be my client machine. Um, okay, I'm going to put this VM together. So this is something I'm going to spin up for this session. I'm going to create. So I'm going to, again, for Intune, right? And hopefully we have enough time. I might have to install um, the client, right? So we'll have to install the client um, into client so that we're able to gather all these policies and add these apps if we needed to. But again, we're gonna do that and create these together. So we're gonna create a interactive logon warning message. I'll show you guys how to do that. In the meantime, I want to create this as we create configuration profiles. Okay, so let's quickly get this machine running. I'm installed now. It doesn't need too much information. Um, and as it's starting up, uh, we'll go back here and we'll go to the add settings, and I'm gonna look for interactive and then search, and it should be here as a local policy. And I'm going to interactive do not display last signed in, which is I want to remove that, the last person who signed in. And then text message for users attempting to log in, and a message title for users attempting to log on. I think that's all I need right now. We do not require control delete. Yes, we do. Display user information when lesson session is locked. No, I think this is all we need for now. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Okay. Okay. That's it for now. And I'm going to put a title in. So what I'm going to do is take this information here and I'm going to put it, um, I'm going to put it on another page. And I'm going to paste it here. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to synchronize that now. So as I'm synchronizing the data, I just want to copy and paste it. There's a lot to process with this, so I just want to make sure. So that's one example of what I want to do. So I should be able to open this and synchronize it. There we go. So uh there's my title. And if we go back here, I'm going to add my title. This is going to be my title, right? That's what I want. And then my message, I'm going to copy and paste the message here. So I'm going to take the warning message. Again, we can Google this interactive messaging. This is just message saying, hey, this message and any attachments are entitled only for the use of intended recipients, confidential, etc. So it's an offense to continue without proper authorization. Your company can have these guidelines set up. If you're not authorized, terminate the access now. Click OK and indicate your acceptance. So only authorized users are allowed to be logged into these systems. These are important, so please make note of that. And I'm going to click next. I don't want any scope tags. And I'm going to assign this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to assign this to all my devices. So regardless of what device every device should have it. I don't have any groups that I need to assign it to. I'm just going to assign it to all. And again, I can add filters and create filters, right? Include filtered devices in the assignment, exclude it. And again, this is all from, this is just to apply a filter to include and exclude certain devices from this. I don't care. I don't have one, so I'm not going to apply a filter, but you can if you want to include it or exclude it in this assignment. Um, if there's multiple groups, you can remove multiple, whatever group you need. If you are excluding groups, you can't mix users and devices across include and exclude. Just make note of that, okay? So here's the profile. As you can see, interactive login message warning screen. And I'm going to go ahead and create that. We can also create a, it's another good one. Um, we can do remove restart button, um, remove program and features, remove desktop wallpaper, lock screen images. When it refresh now, and that should be created. Let me take a look at my machine. So I don't have a product key. Click on full, next. Uh, that's one. um, see what else I would want to try. Good examples for you guys to use. Um, this is just custom. I'm not going to customize the drive space here because it's good. I'll use a whole free space. I don't want to. This doesn't need two network. Well, yeah. Well, if you want to connect it, yeah, I want one for the VNet, VLAN, or VM NextNet, and then one for internet. So I should have two network adapters. Yeah, but this one here, I'm just going to use it for internet for now. If I want to add this to the domain, yes, I would need a second adapter and assume that we are on the same VMnet. So assume that we're on the same VMnet for it to communicate. If I'm pulling up the picture here, and I'm going back to the home, I'm putting a card here, right? And then I'm gonna put a second card, second card, all right? And then we'll have our hard drive, our first hard drive, right? We know what we're talking about again. And in this case, our Ethernet 0, which is our physical network, NIC, Ethernet 0, which is our local, right? And then physical NIC 2 is our VLAN network or uh, internet for internet, right? Should make sense. Pretty straightforward, guys. All right, this is for local or ETH1, internet 1, which is for net, or this can also be NAT, which is or VMNet, or it could be VMNet 8, right? Or VLAN, right? So in this case, this is going to be our VMNet, whatever, XX, and that's our physical adapter. So this is how both machines are going to work. This is how I want this set up. I'm going to, again, physical NIC, right? and then physical NIC 2. And again, we can create NIC teaming, and this is our physical disk, right? Disk, and this is going to be our C drive, right? And this will have the NTFS, right? So a file system. So that's how that's going to work. Not really too. There's not too much to worry about that. Again, it's just everything's by design. Um, our client machine. Sorry, our client machine. This is how our client machine is going to work. Um, so I'm going to create a client machine here. Two network cards, and then we're going to have one internet here. Right. This is obviously this one has two, but sorry about that, guys. So this here is for our client, and then NIC 1, right, is for our first internet card, and then NIC 2 is for a second internet card. And this is going to be our Windows 10 machine. This is our Windows 10 client machine, right? Okay. And this is going to be a work group machine. I'm not going to, again, if I do decide to make this a domain join machine, I will, but it's going to be a work group machine for now. Uh, for now, and this is what I want it to be. So I'm not making any changes to that. That's what I want. This is what I want it to be. Okay, and again, that's how that's going to work. And here is the uh, drawing. How I set it up. How I want to set it up for now. Right. I don't care. This is just installing Windows 10. I don't need that much RAM to install Windows 10. Typically, you need 8, which will make it go much quicker. But in this case, we are going to leave it as is. Okay. Make this smaller. Copy. All right. So I'm going to take this picture, right? And I'm going to post it here in my notes. And I want you guys to do the same thing. Um, as this is going to be my drawing here, and I'm going to say yes, because we're in Canada. And I'm going to post this here as my creating my Windows 10. How I want it created. Okay. So we're creating this internet log on message is what we did. I also want to create a few more. Let's see if I can get some good ones here. Um, configuration. Again, there's multiple ways I can, multiple ideas. Um, but again, we can go through the different lists together that way and see what we can do. So for example, here, let's create a new policy. Let's create another Windows 10 settings catalog. Correct next. Um, I don't know what there's examples of. Uns, um, hmm, eSIM, for example. We can download the servers for that and We can display the local UI, and we'll use that, for eSIM category. We'll create that and put the server name for that if it's available. So if the server name is available, we can do EC server is a server name, and we click next. So that's one profile, right? We did our eSIM profile for eSIM users. And refresh. What else can we do? Hmm, some good ideas here. Give me 1 second. Uh, so as we're doing these templates, again, it's just a setting like a kiosk, a VPN, Wi-Fi. The setting could be available if you want to see the available firewall settings, BitLocker settings, then we can use this option. If we're looking for a specific setting, we can use that option as well too. Um, but when we look at the settings catalog, uh, let's see, we can disable the pause button, right? Uh, we can disable the pause button. Uh, Recording device. Let's see what else we can do here. Okay. eSIM. This is eSIM profile. Settings catalog. Just gonna review and save. Okay. And then I'm gonna go back to create. Let's create a new policy for Windows 10 and 11. Let's go back to settings catalog. Let's create the settings catalog. And let's create remote desktop connection. So let's enable remote desktop connection. So let's do that. It's one of the ones. So that's the last one I'm going to do for now. And this one, and I'm going to add settings, and I'm going to do remote desktop. So let's look for remote desktop. Uh, Connection. So we will go to our administrative template, and we will enable RDP search, and we'll enable RDP. See if we can find a RDP. Okay, there we go. Uh, Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. There's thousands of templates. Can't remember every single one of them, so give me 1 second as I uh, look for that example. This is a great example for you guys to use. So, 1 second. So, so, okay, so, remote, search for remote. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna search for remote desktop. I'll remove this remote desktop because I did this already. So I'm going to search for remote desktop, and I'm going to search for that. And I'm going to expand remote desktop. There you go. And I'm going to check the following settings for allowing users to remotely using remote desktop. So, guys, give me 1 second. My apologies. So I'm so remote, remote desktop. I'm going to search for that. And then within my remote desktop, expand remote desktop. Uh, allow users to connect remotely. I guess it's not really working for me. Okay, my apologies, guys. Looks like it's not. Okay. Well, let's try one more time. Let's remove this category. Let's go here. CMNOP remote desktop. Hold on, let's just press that and then click on that and auto subscription. No. Okay. Yeah. So what essentially, guys, so what I'm trying to do here, yep. So what I want to do here is when I add settings, okay. So look for hosting connections. So that's what I'm doing. So guys, I'm so sorry. So what I want to do is administrative templates, then all the way down to configuration. I I couldn't find this. Again, I apologize. But again, what I want you guys to do is, again, this is enabling it. So this is how you can enable it. So what I want you guys to do is go to Windows Components. Right here. So here's my Windows Components, and then go all the way down to R, Remote Desktop. So what do I just do this one? I just do Remote Desktop Services. right? Search for that. And then we're looking for remote desktop hosting connection. Session host and then connections. And then we need to ensure allow users to remotely connect. There you go. So that's what I want to do. And then I'm going to click on um, and what I wanted to do is if I go to this is what I want to do, guys. If I go to my machine here and I type it and I go to settings, right, to system, and I go to remote desktop connection. So this will enable it on. So that's what I'm trying to do. Um, so locate the allow and set it to enabled. So this is to configure the settings. So I've done that and clicked on enabled and set it to enabled. So if I go back to our machine here, right, go back to our machine here, right, and it's set, and I'm going to remove this. So I'm going to set that to enabled, and then I'm going to click next, next, assign it to all devices, and then click next, next, and finish. So again, this is I've created I've created multiple examples of how to enable the remote desktop connection, eSIM configuration profile, and then interactive logon message. This is pretty good so far. I'm also now going to create a new policy. And in this policy, we're going to use the Windows 10 and later, and we are going to create templates. In this template, we're going to create a device restrictions template. And then we're going to click next. So this is going to be device Windows and device restriction configuration profile. Click next. And we are going to go for cellular connectivity. We are going to block Bluetooth for now. We're going to block Bluetooth and we're going to block discoverability. All right. Next. We're not going to give it because we don't have any devices to give it to. When we create these devices, we can add these as a group. And we're going to click next. There's no applicability rule, right? And this rule we can assign the profile if the OS version is, I don't know, 15, 17 only, right? And that's that 8.0.0 to 17.0. So that's how that works. Next, next, and create. So we've created a um, policy for Windows 10 and later template for device restriction. We're also going to create BIOS configuration and other settings. Create a template for that, for BIOS configuration. Create one together. Next. So disable protection. So for example, for this specific hardware, we could disable the per device password protection and then select the configuration file. So the configuration file should be a cctk file, so we can select the cctk if we have it or not for BIOS. So we can do this. I can cctk. So the cctk is just the client configuration toolkit. Um, so what that does is, so what that is it can be used to create multi-platform packages for BIOS settings. We just need to apply the file and run the file. We can export the config in the del command or config GUI. We can also use cctk to filter settings, for example. But again, this is a Dell client configuration toolkit that allows us to create multi-platform packages for Dell BIOS settings, right? So, if we need to download, so we can get the download um, from Dell command, right, from the Dell support site. So, for example, for Dell machines, um, we should be able to actually. It says to create a Win32 app that installs the hardware manufacturer agent, uh, right? So that needs to be present on these devices in order for this to happen. Um, what we can do is to download that, we can find it under the system management section of drivers and download. So we will go to the support site, and then within the support site, accept all. Um, ensure that we're signed in. Um, so in this case, we have to ensure that we're signed in. We can give our machine here. So if we go to Dell warranty page, right, and provide. So if we were to provide, see, we don't have it. Okay. So if I were to give for example, um, um, I would have to find my serial number. So let me grab my serial number, and I will stop sharing. Stop sharing, and I'm going to locate. I'll go to the warranty page. I'm going to open up my command prompt here, and then go to the warranty page. And I'm decline all. And I'm gonna search for my serial number. So I'm gonna get the serial number here. Command prompt. Laptop. Doesn't have a laptop. I have a laptop that's a Dell. To figure out what that is, I'm gonna type the Dell serial number. Okay. So with see if I can find the drivers. There's the Dell drivers here. So what I'm going to do is go to the Dell's drivers page, and then I'm going to enter in my serial number, and then I'm going to essentially want to go to the systems management section, and then that section there, and then this, I think found it, which is good. And I'm going to go to systems management section. Systems management section. Systems management section. So I'm going to not check for hardware, but I'm going to check for hardware. A quick scan. Drivers and downloads. And systems management. I use systems management. Let's see if we can find that. We have critical downloads. We have security. Optional drive. System utilities. Systems management. So, so my drivers. To go to optional drivers, systems management driver. So once I download the PowerShell version of that, I should be able to download that. And I should have my CCTK. So I'm going to go ahead and download this. So I have my version number. That should be in my Dell CCTK. So let's see. C drive. So I have to go on my laptop. 86. Dell. Don't have it. So again, I'm gonna have to. I download the Power Manager service. I'm just gonna extract it. I'm gonna extract it here on my C drive. Say program files, and I'll to hit OK to close. I'm gonna view the folder. Should see the. I know you guys don't see it, but again, um, essentially the CCTK. So I would have to upload the CCTK. That's what I need to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip this step. It is important, but again, I go to downloads. Okay, right. and downloads files. Let's just do that. Just put the WebEx. It's to be 2,000 bytes. But again, that's how you do it. Um, so again, we can create the BIOS configuration file, right? Um, or we can create the new policies for that. But yeah, that's how you do that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and give you back some of the video. So let's share our screen again. Right. Okay. So I've gone ahead and downloaded the CCTK, and then I would have to upload that. So that's pretty straightforward. Um, there's not much I need to do here, right? And that's that. Right, so if I were to go next, uh, I don't know. Let's just put it in a file for now. Uh, let's put in a file for now. No, it's to be a CCTK. So let's do start.cctk. See if we can find that. Uh, Miss PC CCTK INI downloads. Just do that for now. Okay. Okay, there you go. So anything, I just put anything for now. I'm not gonna assign it to a group, but again, you would need that CCTK file. There's instructions on how to download the CCTK file. So how to download the CCTK file for BIOS configuration profile in Intune, right? So right here, it's telling us um, to create a Dell BIOS config profile. And this is how we would do it. We would create the Intune and import the CCTK file. We can create the app that contains that file and then wrap it up. Here's some good instructions on how to do that. If you want to create um, a BIOS configuration profile, we can then remove configuration profiles if we like. Then we'll talk about BIOS settings on BIOS devices versus DFCI, which is configuration interface, right? We can talk about that. Hopefully this guy has some good instructions on how to create that, but it's pretty easy. Like I said, look, I can create the package here. So all I need to do is download the toolkit software on one of the devices. On that's a Dell, has to be a Dell, right? So I can get the client configuration toolkit, and then go ahead and create that uh, template. Pretty straightforward here. Um, right. So here's how to do that, and I'm going to post this link because it's very, very interesting uh, on how to. But I do need that CCTK folder in this aspect, right? And again, per device BIOS protection, so that we can save the per device BIOS password in the Intune object. However, I couldn't find any Microsoft documentation. Again, this is what he's saying. There's some workarounds around that where we can, you know, use the app catalog to create command apps for you, right? So we can create that um, based on the WinApp utility, right? So again, here's a good link if you guys want to attempt this on your own. I will post this. And I will post this here. Um, then there's eSIM profiles. And there's we also talked about BIOS profiles, and here's a good link for that. I want you guys to read. Um, I'll send you guys a link on that. And here it is. Copy that. This is actually pretty cool. Just make sure you get the CCTK. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I just want to show you the new option that came out, but you guys kind of get the gist of things on how to create these. I've also created device restrictions. Showed you guys how to create a device restriction. Right? I think I think that's part of the oops. So this is going to be part of the not the settings catalog, but the properties catalog, not the properties catalog, but the template catalog, right? So templates, let's let's create a configuration profile. Template. It's okay. So that's that. I'm going to, okay. Mhm. And okay. So as you guys can see, I don't want to spend too much time here, but you guys kind of it's really easy. I'll give you guys some instructions on that. You need to have a device that it has to be a Dell product at this point. If you do have one, great. If not, don't worry about it. You could try something else. There's other device restriction profiles that we can create together. Um, we're also gonna learn how to create a. We're gonna create. We'll learn how to create a custom template CSP. So I'll create one of those for you, and then once we do that, okay. So I have tons of like CSPs that we can create. There's no problems of creating CSPs. We create many CSPs if I'd like to. We can create, Firefox homepage or Google Show homepage, um, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and um, create the homepage location for Chrome on a template. So let's do that together. Click next, next, and finish. So that's creating a template policy type. And I also want to let's create one more policy type that uses templates. So you guys kind of get the templates and we will create a, let's say, uh, kiosk profile. Let's create a kiosk profile. Let's create a kiosk profile. So this is going to be a kiosk configuration profile template. Okay. Click next. We're going to select the kiosk, and this is going to be a single app kiosk. We are going to use I'll log on. We're going to use a local user account, and we're going to call it Ontario kiosk, right? Application type, we're going to use a browser. We are going to use a kiosk browser, and going to be a kiosk. We're creating a profile. We're going to click next. We are going to click a single app. We're going to choose logon type. Okay. Create policy platform, Windows 10. We're going to go through Windows 10 later. We're going to use template. We're going to select template. We're going to select kiosk. Yeah, so I have that right. And I'm going to create. And then in the name, I'm going to create, let's do um, kiosk mode um, configuration profile. Right. Okay. And this is for calculator. Okay, and I'm gonna click next. Right. And then I'm gonna choose single app, full screen, and uh, application type 132. I want a 132. So I'm going to do intra. Um, should be a local user. So what I'm going to do is my logon type is going to be a local user account, and it's going to be Ontario kiosk, one word, right? And then my app type should be Win32 app, but um, should be a single app. Add a kiosk browser. Hmm. Right, and then I'm going to look for calculator. legacy browser. Guys, give me 1 second. Uh, so it looks like they removed the option to add a Win32 app. Um, the store browser, uh, so the app, it looks like there's no managed apps available in the managed app. So if we run, so what I'm thinking is if we run, go to applications, for example, let's go to applications, right? And let's go to all apps. Let's add, um, uh, I don't know. So if we do Win32 app, select, and the full path for the well, it's not really a package, but the full package file is, it would be in the C drive. This is how I would normally do it. So, so C Windows System 32 calc. This would have to be a Win32 app. So I would have to create the Win32 app for that. But the calculator app is here. So let's see if we can calc. CACL CA right here. Open. I'm going to add by built-in app. No, you know what? This is a it's an app, so we can add the calculator this way. So we're not gonna enter the full path of the ESX for the okay. So the app path is um obviously it's in the Windows 32 system 32, right? So what I need to do is get the Win utility and take the calculator.exe, right? There's multiple ways that we can do it. I can create a I can create a custom exe file using the OMA URI. Um, so in this case, I would go to devices, right? Devices, or I can use I don't know, I can go to Windows, add, and 132 select app package file, click the app package file, C drive, C, Windows, System 32, and CAL, enter. It's not a win file, I'd have to create a win file. Let's do the cal, all files, star, calc here, open, see what happens. Yeah, if it lets me, it doesn't let me. All right. So I'd have to change that to a, so that's not a good idea. So let's try something else here. Let's go to devices. Let's select Windows. And then underneath my configuration profiles, I'm going to click on create. And I'm going to create a new policy. And the platform, I'm going to select Windows 10 or later. And I'm going to create a template. And I want to create a custom template. And I'm going to click next. And this is going to be kiosk profile with custom exe file using mock URI. Didn't want to talk about this, but it's okay. Wow. Next. Okay, and I'm gonna click on add, and my name is gonna be custom kiosk mode for calculator. Right. And my description, my URI. My URI is going to be um, dot vendor um, slash mfst slash assigned access, one word. And I'm gonna go to string, and then my XML, I'm going to copy this path here, and I'm going to put it just below here. And I'll go to right click, and I'm going to sync, right? And I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to make sure I sync as well here. So this is my OMA URI. I'm going to take this code, it's an XML code, and I'm going to paste it. And my profile ID is fine. And this is going to be Ontario kiosk user. Yeah, that's what I want. And profile ID is kiosk profile. Okay. That's it. Perfect. And its path is C drive auto launch. And that's it. And this is going to be Ontario kiosk user. Post that. Just make that little change there. I don't want to make any other changes. Everything looks good. I'm just going to click save. And I'm going to go next. I'm going to assign this to all devices. And I'm just going to click next. No applicability rules. Next. Create, finish. So I've created this custom profile with custom EXSI using OMA URI to create for calculator. So I'm adding a calculator to a kiosk machine. I also want to assume that I've created my Actually, no, I've created the profile already. Um, but should be good to go. So I created the platform. Okay, so I'm going to refresh, and finish. That's creating a kiosk profile. I should have a machine hopefully ready to go. Um, but I need to set this up as an organization. So I need to create a user. And you know what? I'm just going to use my standard user. Sign in with my standard user. He's licensed user already, or Bruce Wayne, whoever. But in this case, I'm just going to use myself. I'm going to enter the password. Should be able to sign in now. Enter join that machine. Um, nope. Accept. Nope. Accept. Just gonna click. Yeah. I'm not using ink or typing. I don't have a pen. It's a virtual machine, so no, no tips or ads. No, no ads. And let's go back to our page here. So there was a kiosk mode. Again, I could have used the kiosk mode, but it looks like the Win32 app wasn't created. Um, you could create a Win Intune app. Um, I don't know. I think you can also, you should be able to see if there's a legacy app. Let's see. And then let's URL for that. Um, these are all web-based links. I don't want to use web-based link. Windows app, built-in app. Let's see, built-in. Is there a built-in? Oh, look at that. This might be a built-in app here. So let's see if there's a calculator. Let's type in calculator. It's built-in. Oh, no. See, there's no calculator. Interesting. So there's no built-in app. Web link. I don't want to use a web link. Line of business app. There's no MSI. It's just local. See, so that's the best way I think, guys. Is sort of the best way to use it. If I do create a Win32 app, um, I'm assuming like it would have to be, yeah, I would have to download the Win utility. Um, so and then create a package for that on input and output folder. And just what you could do is let's see if this works. You know what? Let's try it. Okay, let's just try this. I've created a custom OMA URI. I'm also creating an app for this, so let's see if I can download the Intune app utility to app utility download. See if we can download it. The content prep tool. See if we can create. Let's see if we can download this. I'm gonna download the zip. Okay, open. So I'm going to download it here. Okay. So let's see if I can specify the source folder. So I'm going to create a source folder, okay, and output folder. So we're gonna try to create um, the source folder and output folder. So what I'm gonna do is get the source folder, right? And I'm going to take the path, copy, and then paste it here, right? And then my setup file is would be a C drive. Okay. So if we're looking for calc.exe, right? It should be in the system32. Let's take it too long. So Windows, system32, and I'm going to go to CLC. Okay. I'm going to take the path, as you guys can see, cut that, right? Paste it. So that's going to be my setup file. Setup file best cannot be accessed. Or how about this? How about I just copy? You know what? Let's just do this. It's my source. It's going to be in the source folder. So I'm going to copy. So what we're going to do is copy this to the source folder. I'm going to copy this to the downloads, download source folder, paste. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to hit enter. Enter. There you go. And then my output folder um, is going to be my output folder. And I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to paste that and hit enter. And you want to specify? Nope, I don't. And this is going to go ahead and create it. So now if I go back to, if I'm going to my output folder, there's my calc Intune win. So let's go ahead and try to input that into our package file. Um, downloads, output folder. There's my calculator. And let's see what happens. So there we go. So this is calculator, guys. After creating my own Intune app, again, multiple ways of doing it, but let's just test it. Um, Obviously, I'm going to save a calculator logo. Save as calculator. Save. Let's go to the select image. Owner. Owner would be the owner, which is the admin. Admin, right? There's no developer. It's just Microsoft, right? No information. But do I want? Yes, I want to show it. This is going to be um, business. There's no app version. We call this Windows 10, Windows 11, whatever we want. And then I'm going to click select image, select the logo file. So we are going to go to um, logos, list, hit enter, hit OK, next. So the install command for this would be let's see when. Oh, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So in this instance, we um, this instance it would be MSI exec or be calc. We can create a batch file for this, um, or a quick install file for this if we'd like. But again, this should be pretty straightforward. Now we can do silent slash install, right? do that. Oh, and then we can uninstall. We could just say uninstall, right? And that's the path to the exe installer. So I'll just say that for now. Uh, show available uninstall, yes, and this is going to be for system. And device restart behavior. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to click next. We're going to select the 32 and 64 bit. Select the oldest. It's fine. Should have uh, 24. Should have at least 1 gig. All right, should be good to go. Uh, Little formats. Oh, that's fine. Manually configure detection rules. Um, this is a file. So file folder path should exist. Uh, um, so if I do Control R, yeah. See if this works. Yeah. User profile. It's the quickest way. Profile system profile. Um, so this is environment variable. So I might need to take a look at the environment variables to see if that environment variable is there. So let's go to system open. Um, SDN CPO. Let's open that up. Let's go to, so that is get variables. There we go. So do we have a variable? Um, we do not. So how do I create? Let's do system 32. 32. Right. And this PC, the C drive, Windows, system 32. Hit OK. Let's create a variable. See if this works for this specific instance. So I've gone ahead and created. I've gone ahead and created my system 32. Let's see what happens. Hit OK. Hit OK. Let's see what happens. System 32. So I'm going to do Windows R. Close that. Close that. Do Windows R. I hit OK. That should work. If I go like this. Hmm. The percentage sign system profile. Yeah, percentage sign. And I'm going to go no. Well, I thought that was going to be easy, but I guess not. Hmm, that's not going to work. I need a shortcut for that. Where would I find calculator app? Where is the calculator app installed? Calculator app installed. Let's see where the calculator app is installed. Well, this was a little difficult than I thought it was, but it's okay. This is why we're troubleshooting together. Program files. Let's see, is it in program files? It would be it's in the Windows Store. Okay. Okay. What exists? Well, registry. Let's see if there's a registry. Let's do it by registry. Um, so it would be um, So let's see if it's in the registry. Okay, so we open up reg editors, reg editor. So, okay, and then current user. So the current user, it's an application, so it'd be a current user, not on the machine. Um, software, Microsoft. It looks like this is gonna take a little bit of time. Okay, so that's fine. Let's just avoid that. I need to put a pin. All right. I'm gonna approve the sign in. The number in my authenticator. Authenticate that again. All right, so that should go now. There we go. Put in my new pin. Right, pin set. Continue. Yes. I'm going to install VMware tools. I'm gonna not add this. I'm going to avoid that. Cancel out of this. Hopefully my D drive. There we go. So I'm going to install VMware tools. I'm going to run the setup, restart the machine. Next, next. So that's finished. Close. Next, next. Choose complete. Install. Okay, let's go back to our detection rule. So I need to find out what the path is. The path for that is C. System 32, and then that would be calc.exe, right? File folder exists. Hit OK. Next, next, next. I'm gonna do all develop. Those are all users actually enrolled. So I'm gonna remove this, delete. I'm gonna remove this. Still trying to figure out what the percentage sign is for Windows 32 profile. I think it's user profile. I don't know. I feel like I don't remember. Don't maybe it's Windows 32. But Yeah, see, it's not working. Yeah, there's user profile. See how it works. Anyway, this one here is going to be for um, available for enrolled devices. And this is going to be for all users, right? I'm going to click next. And that looks pretty good. I hit enter. So we can test this to see if that works. Not really tested it fully yet, but let's see if we can go ahead and try that. I've created the Intune package for it. Um, you know, we'll try to see what happens. Um, if we can get this to install, great. If not, we tried. There's two options. The two options that I showed you guys are available for trial. So hopefully one of them will work. If we go to devices now, go to app, all apps. There's the Win32 app now. I can, no problem. Um, so that's good. All devices, configuration, let's create a kiosk, Windows 10, templates, kiosk, create, create test, next. And this is going to be a user account. Logon name is going to be Toronto kiosk. It's okay. Application type is store app. Let's see if it finds it. See, it didn't find it. It didn't find the app. Later. Interesting. Well, that's good that we tried that out again. Glad that can add a kiosk browser. Um, right. So that's okay. If we had a default browser, we can host a calculator as well too. Um, bring it up, see if we can get a calculator. Um, web service. Let's see what happens. Web page, online calculator. We could use that too as well. Just a just an idea again, guys. But option one is, I guess, my favorite so far. I prefer. Right. So I'm now signed in. So if and when I sign in, I should be available here within devices. That's different. Again, these are just options. Refresh, right? Uh, devices, devices, all devices available. So that's my enter joined. Okay, there we go. And I should be owner. Yeah, it's MDM is not set up. I didn't set up MDM. So let's go ahead and set up MDM, which is what we need. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So, so what we're going to do is go to devices. We are going to go to all devices, and we're going to go to Windows. We're going to go to enrollment, and in enrollment, we are going to go to uh, automatic enrollment, and we are going to go to all, and save our scopes. Okay, and device limit restriction is good. So we're good to go. All right, so we're good to go. So this is in. So let's see if we can now open this device and go to settings, go to accounts, go to access worker school, and we are good to go. So we're good. We're connected. Okay, perfect. Good, we're good. All right, so this is now connected to Azure AD. Um, and then if we go to devices, our users should be P2. So let's go to all users, see what licenses this person has. And yes, he's got an active license. So that's good. Good, 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 good. So he has an active P2 license. And that's good to go. All right, so that's good to go. Let's go ahead and install the company portal app. In case I need to install it manually. And as we're waiting, I will go back here and I've showed you guys how to create the policies, the different policies where Windows 10 and 11 with these devices, with these specific policies, and settings catalog and templates. I'm not going to show you the new properties catalog that just came out. The properties catalog, um, again, it's just collected data. Um, so again, we're going to collect inventory properties such as battery, BIOS info, like your BIOS name, element, software element ID, state, target operating system, CPU like processor ID, disk drive like your drive ID, encryptable volume, logical drive, and it's similar to registry, resource explorer, network adapter, system enclosure, video controller, and Windows QEF like hotfix ID, right? So you'll notice that once it's created, this will create a service agent that's called the device inventory agent. And we're also able to collect logs through the device inventory agent. And I'll show you guys how to create that. I've already created one. Um, if we go back, and I'll show you here as as we go. I called it inventory example. And I added the specific settings in here in these properties. And again, I added all of them. This refreshes every 24 hours. They say 8, but 8 to 24 hours. So it does take a little bit of time for this to apply to each device. So I've added every single property so that you have the availability to take a look at the different options available in each category and what each category does. Now, if you don't need all of them, you can remove them one by one, and make changes to those. So any changes that you make sure you save it. So I've gone ahead and saved that. I didn't apply it to a all devices group. I did. So what I'll do is once I have my machine ready and I'm installing the company portal app, right? Download it. What I get, company portal. So this is going to install the um, Intune management extension, right? I don't have it yet, as you can see. No Intune management extension. So you'll notice that this will successfully install slowly. All right. Uh, Launch it and sign in. See, it's not there yet. So we're just waiting for the, let's go to program data. See if it installed yet. Data. Nothing yet. So it hasn't installed yet. It's just waiting. I'm going to refresh the page. So let's go ahead and set up this device. As you can see, I got a little things, some things changed. So we're going to add a corporate account to this device. And click next. And we're going to connect. All right, and that's our user account. Connect to our service. So there's a few things that changed, and I put my password, and I updated the password as well too. I'm gonna hit enter, and I'm going to approve the sign-in request with my authenticator app. As you can see, over a year things have changed, so the look and feel of it is a little different than what I'm used to seeing. As I don't know if you guys are, but I'm used to seeing something different, totally different aspect. So this is gonna approve that, and I'm going to connect and register the device, which is what I've done. And this is gonna set up some. If you don't have access after waiting, open the settings app. Okay. So this is actually connecting to my worker school. Hopefully installing the. There we go. There's your management extension, as you can see, guys. It's finally installing. It's gone ahead. It's installing, as you can see. So this is my device is now connected to work. I'm going to click next, and I'm done. There we go. There you go, guys. I'm done. I've set, and there's my new calculator app, as you can see, as a published app um, that I've created. There's my calculator app, and I can install the app. Let's see what happens. There you go. There you go, guys. Calculator's installed. The calculator app. There you have it, guys. Calculator's installed. All right. So my app is installed, guys. There's the, so if we go back to the apps, Windows apps, calculator. This was installed as a Win32 app, so it looks like slowly uh, let's take a look. Let's wait. See if it overview devices should have. There you go. So there you have it, guys. Devices has been, there's no compliance policies, but again, I could check the access to see if it meets. Again, I have to create a policy, compliance policies for those. So again, here's my device, my first device that I've added, my featured app. I was able to, perfect, add that app, which is great. Um, there you have it. So this app was created as a apps 132 app. So again, this takes up a little bit of time, but there you have it, guys. I created the calculator app. Um, right, so I was able to match the detection rule, manually configure as a file within that file where it's located. The calculator app um, was also given an install command and an uninstall command, which is what we found. Um, we can also use the MSI exec if they were MSIs, but in this case, for MSI installers, but in this case, they're EXEs. So the calculator .exe is path is set up to the, we have a silent or quiet depending on the installer. And then we have an install, which indicates where that I want to install the application. And then the uninstall indicates that I want to uninstall the application. So again, installers use different syntax for silent install and uninstall. So we need to adjust the commands accordingly. Uh, just make note that it does take a little bit of time for the information to come out, but there you have it. Um, take a little bit of time to show the device. But if we go to configuration manager, um, we should see the Microsoft device inventory agent. And we should also see the device inventory agent slash logs if it was installed correctly. Um, the client logs itself would show that. So if we were to go to program files, right? And from program files, it's supposed to show the Microsoft device inventory. Once that shows, we know that we're able to now troubleshoot this feature. In the client also, we should get a service called the Microsoft device inventory agent, and that gets created once it's properly um, the policies probably properly assigned um, to the device, right? So there's the MDM. So it looks like I'm able to, there's the policies for remote desktop. The applications are complete. I'm able to sync whatever is not there. So I should be able to um, open the device now, refresh, refresh. Should show. Takes a little bit of time. Let's just wait. Yeah, it's just taking some time. Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. If I go to all devices, there's my device. And there's my MDM solution. So it's been changed because I'm connected. It just takes a little bit of time to get there. Um, there you have it. There you have it, guys. Everything is good to go. Okay. I'm able to access the company resources, so this is ready to go. I have the remote desktop services, the local policy security options. So if I do a control delete now, let's do control delete, lock the screen. Let's go to password in. Let's reboot this machine. So at this point, I should have the messages come through. Looks like it's not coming through yet. So I'm going to restart the computer. As for the interactive log on screen. So let's see what happens. But there you have it, guys. So, perfect. This is gonna take a little bit of time. I'm convinced that it still needs to see. Um, okay, so let's create built-in group. Let's create a new group. Okay, I'm gonna call it Windows 10 devices. Right, and this is gonna be assigned members. I'm gonna add this device. Select, hit create. So I added that device to that group, and I'm gonna refresh, 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 refresh. And I'm going to go to devices, and we're going to go to enrollment, automatic enrollment, all. I'm going to select a group, right? And I'm going to hit select, save, and refresh, refresh. And I'm going to go to this machine here. I'm going to go to synchronize. There we go. So here you have it, guys. Here's the log on screen I was talking about. So this log on screen is modified as such and should now be able to apply on all machines. So there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and actually remove the stars and put in a separate line. That's what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is go to the configuration profiles. I'm going to open up the interactive login warning message, and I'm going to edit the configuration settings. Open up the crack open the local policy security settings here, and the title looks fine. If I go to the bottom here, I'm going to remove this, X that out, and then put that as a secondary line, and then review it and save that, and hopefully that should change it. And there you have it, guys. This this does take time. Um, so when I created, so what happens is when I create the properties catalog, we did create it. It takes about 24 hours. Even if we restart the services again, if we were to restart the services, um, we should see that service in our services, right? So if we go to services, and let's see, we should see the service agent, device inventory agent. Uh, don't see it yet. So it looks like it hasn't popped up yet. So this does take a little bit of time. It takes about 24 hours. I don't see the device inventory agent. There are no client logs yet. So even if we're here, um, let's wait. There you go. There you go. I fixed that up too. So that's done. And hit OK. I'm going to sign in. So I've signed in. Um, I don't see anything here. So the template catalog that we created. So when we go back to our um, so that hasn't succeeded yet. Um, restriction, nothing yet. Refresh. Oh, BIOS settings. I didn't eSIM remote. Right. And then settings, counts, worker school. So I think that's about it. Like if we there's my device finally. So I finally got my device. It's compliant. It takes a little bit of time. Um, so now there's my Resource Explorer. Right, here's my battery info. Again, it looks like it still hasn't reached. Um, but again, here's the Resource Explorer finally. Again, this takes time. Um, from what I know, it takes time. I don't see the service yet. No, nothing yet. Let's refresh. And I'm looking for the device inventory agent, and that should get created on my Windows 10 machine. So let's go ahead and get this PC, C drive, pull up files. I don't see company portal. Nothing yet, guys. So again, it takes a little bit of time. Um, Calculator's installed. Perfect. Uh, let's sync the device. Let's also sync the device this way. So we're going to sync the device two ways. I showed you one way on the company portal app, and then we're going to go to our accounts. Within our accounts, we're going to go to Access Wicker School, and within there, we're going to go to Info, and hopefully the synchronization just shows that remote desktop services. So let's show you the remote desktop services policy. If we go to hardware, that's remote. As you can see, it's all grayed out, and that allows connections from remote. So if I go to remote desktop connection, I should be able to, if we're on the same VLAN, I should be able to go to CGC SRV, enter, see if it connects it. Yeah, there we go. Put in my password, enter, and I should be able to connect to that machine, right? Now, if I was part of the same settings, and again, I should have this should be set up as, um, should have a static IP, right? Again, it should have a static IP, right? And um, uh, and again, I should be on the VNet local network, the VNet. So this should be my local VNet, like I said, my physical NIC one, and my physical NIC two should be for internet, right? Um, should be on the same VMnet, the physical local internet, and internet two should have internet or my VLAN. It just should have my VNet. It's totally up to you, but it should have a NAT adapter. Sorry, NAT. This is NAT. NAT. This should be NAT. NAT or VMNet 8. NAT or VMNet 8, which is what we saw. We saw that that was what was given for that specific So VMNet 8 is NAT, right? We set that up for NAT. So again, customize your VLANs, give yourself a static IP, and then it should be able to communicate and remote desktop in if you want to. I should be able to remote desktop into my MECMPS if it's on. Let's see, remote should be able to connect to my. There you go. That should connect automatically. And then I should be able to put in my password, enter, and that'll connect to my machine directly. So I don't have to. I don't have to actually have this machine. This machine will lock out, which is good, which is what I want. Uh, so that's it, guys. So there you have it. Uh, I have a feeling that again, that folder is not there. Once that folder is there, let me refresh. Yeah, see that folder and that service need to be available to show you. I'm just gonna end it from here again. There are some direct reports, and again, even in the registry edit, like if we were to go to the registry edit, let's see if I am able to actually see that. Because I said it says that some data sources for the hardware tab and Resource Explorer will be the same. It just takes 24 hours, even if we restart the services. I don't see the service yet, so it looks like it hasn't been installed properly. Sorry, it hasn't been installed at all. But I did set up the policy already. The policy's created. It's pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and see if we can take a look at the registry edit keys. And taking a look at that. So let's go ahead and add that here. I don't see. So within the local machine, software, Microsoft, data access. I don't see the reports yet. So once that shows, then we know that it's good to go. Yeah, don't let me synchronize this one more time. Close that. Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. Sync this device into taskbar. So I want to thank you. Um, I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to create this video for you. As you can see, when you do see the registry editor, you'll see the reports uh, and the different device inventory for battery, BIOS info, CPU processor, and then within those you'll see the adapter status. Should it gives you a status of 200, right, which means that it's good for data, and then I'll give you the last updated time in UTC, right? And then we also have the harvester status and the uploader status. So the adapters are there. Again, if you do go to hardware resources, you'll notice that some of them are the same. Um, there's not much of a big difference, but again, um, I didn't set up any of that yet. But okay, like I said, this should takes time. Just takes a little bit of time to learn the settings for that. This should be corporate device, and that's the ownership. It shouldn't be anyway. So we'll save that. It's a corporate device. If I go to devices now, uh, Windows device. So it looks like it's shouldn't be personal. Looks good. Well, there you have it, guys. Um, I want to thank you for your time. Um, it looks like it just takes time. You'll see the inventory agent in the services, but this has to be done on the local. And again, that's our service that gets created, but it looks like it hasn't created yet. That's fine. Um, yes, it's just taking time to get to that. So I wonder if I set up a group profile for that. Did I assign this group profile? Um, so let's go ahead and go back to the configuration for that. See if we assign the group profile. I mean, sorry, a security profile, or assigned it to all users, all devices, or a certain user group. So if we go to the properties catalog here, did I assign it? I assigned this. Okay, so let's edit the assignment and let's remove that and let's add Windows 10. Let's add that. There you go. Let's go next. Assign that group now. Save that. And I'm gonna wait. Just gonna wait for that to connect on my machine. So uh, yeah. See, it's not there yet. Um, see services. Did I create the service yet? Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, device. Nothing yet. So it looks like it hasn't really created yet. Like I said, I need that Microsoft device inventory agent. I mean, inventory agent gets created. I don't see it. Agent gets created. Nah, nothing yet. So it takes a little bit of time. But I've reassigned the group to the policy. So I've gone ahead and reassigned that inventory to our Windows 10. See if I can add all devices, all users. It should be all devices. Devices and then Windows 10. See, I'm going to again the all devices. Uh, let's remove this. Let's give this the include. So this device here. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that. Next, save. So that's saved. Okay, so we're gonna wait a little bit. Again, I I have a feel this is successfully done. Perfect. I've tested that and that works fine. We're also enabled a remote desktop connection, which works. We also tested the kiosk profile, right? We can test that out with that machine in terms of how to test that out with kiosk. It needs to be signed as a kiosk, right? Um, and again, you got to set up the kiosk part in the settings, right? Get started, and then this is going to be part of the um, kiosk user, right? Next. So I'm going to select the calculator app, right? I'm going to click next, next, and finish. So that's how you do it manually, right? As you can see, that's good to go. Um, that's the kiosk app. Yeah, and done. Let's sync the guys. Let's, um, what I want to do is I'm going to go to computer management. And if I open up the computer management, is he a user? Users, my kiosk user 0, perfect. So kiosk user 0, right? So that's kiosk user 0. So that's my local user. So let's see if I can switch user. So it's going to be kiosk user 0. Okay. So I set that up, guys. There you have it. I want to thank you um, for your time. I want you guys to try this out on your end. I want you to tell me what's up, what happened, if you ran into any issues. Again, I'm still waiting for um, the device that hasn't really showed up yet, so I'm still waiting for that. Um, you know, we'll wait for that to populate itself. And again, I want to thank you for your time. I hope this session was informative. Uh, if you have any questions, please feel free to message me at any time, okay? Have yourself a great night.